such a shame because it's such an easy thing to avoid. As as we understand, looking through records, people unfortunately die on the Rappahannock every year, but no one has ever drowned in the Rappahannock as far as we know who's wearing a life jacket. It's that simple. So it's a great, easy way to keep yourself safe. And yeah, they come in a bunch of different sort of flavors and styles.
They're not like, the old orange ones that I remember as a kid that you put up, and I mean, they were those just they just were so bulky. These don't look like that at all.
They don't look like that, and most importantly, they don't feel like that. So it's not this big hot piece of styrofoam around your neck. They're very comfortable, and we have different styles. The main difference between them, and this is kind of an important thing, any life jacket that's Coast Guard approved is going to keep you safe. For kids, you need to make sure that they're sized for the child's weight. But for adults, we've had some sort of larger customers like, is this going to keep me afloat? And absolutely. So any adult life jacket that fits you, that's Coast Guard approved, is going to keep you safe. So beyond that, it's about finding something that's comfortable for you, that's going to feel comfortable and cool. And the main thing is whether the life jacket has what we call a full back flotation, where the sort of flotation panel covers your whole back, or high back flotation. It's usually a little thicker, but it sits higher up. And this is most important for how it interacts with the seat of your kayak. So, if you were to come to River Rock, we have in stock one of our boats that has a seat like yours. You're welcome to, we'll take it down. You can sit in it and see how it feels. And the idea is that this high back one kind of sits above the seat. Whereas if you have a boat like a canoe or a whitewater kayak or something with a really large seat that comes up really high, the full back can be more comfortable. They also can vary in how you put them on. So this one is put on over your head. So we just loosen it up. And actually, I have this life jacket myself. This is my favorite one for whitewater kayaking and canoeing. It's got that big full back rotation.
Yeah.
And it sits really unobtrusively, kind of high. So people who, police officers, military folks, it's going to feel kind of like what they would wear normally with their vest, but you've got a lot of freedom of movement with your arms, and it's designed so that the cushion kind of sits up from you. You've got a lot of ventilation where you need it to stay cool. So I'll be wearing this one on the river, and we'll be loading up boats, and I haven't taken it off, and my partners will be like, Bob, you still have your life jacket on. I'm like, oh, yeah, I didn't even notice. It's just, they're that comfortable.
They're that light then, I guess.
And they're that light, yeah. It's just really, it's lightweight. And then that high back flotation, as you saw, has this sort of mesh panel on the back.
Yeah.
So that's going to be super breathable and not going to make you hot.
You talked about Coast Guard approved. Is that something that's, is that some kind of something that it will say it somewhere, Coast Guard approved?
Yeah, when you look at the labels, it's going to say, the kind of things about it. It'll have sort of the regulations. So this one, because you put it on over your head, you have to wear it to meet the regulations for the Coast Guard. Ones that can be zipped on, Coast Guard just requires that you have it on your boat. But in my opinion, a lot of people think, well, if I get into trouble, I'll put the life jacket on. But if you get into kind of a sticky spot, the last thing you want to have to worry about is something else on your mind. Might as well have your life jacket on. They're comfortable. I remember I was down at the dock one day when we were doing rentals, and somebody was struggling to carry their fishing rod and their cooler and their life jacket into their boat. And I was a little bit of a smart aleck, and I hollered, the easiest way to carry your life jacket is to wear it. But it's true. You might as well just have it on. There's no reason not to. So.
Well, it's not like you can be in your kayak or your canoe and all of a sudden you sense trouble and then you have time to put it on. Because watching you put it on, that took a few minutes.
Yeah, it takes a second. These ones that zip are a little faster, but yeah, you don't want to be trying to navigate, maybe there's a log that was from a flood that you didn't see and your boat's stuck against it. When you're trying to get yourself loose from that is not when you want to be putting your life jacket on. You want to have it on already, and that's just kind of the simple way to stay safe.
And I notice these are like medium, large, extra large. I guess that having like in between two different sizes is a good thing.
Yeah, they kind of span. As you saw when I was doing the straps here, there's a wide range of adjustability on these guys. So yeah, the large, extra large is going to cover a lot of sort of frames. And if you wanted to come down here to River Rock or any place that people are trained with life jackets, we'd be happy to fit you for them and show you how to get it fitted. Ideally, what you want is that the strap isn't all the way out or all the way in. As long as it's kind of in the middle, that gives you some flexibility if you want to wear a jacket or if you're in the summertime and you don't have a shirt on or that kind of thing. So as long as it's kind of in that range, but yeah, there's a wide range of adjustment.
We talk about car seats. It's just as important to match, I would guess, a life jacket up for your kids.
Absolutely, yeah. So we have sort of three, the adult sizes come in sort of small, medium, large, extra large, etc. But they're just adult. But the meta sizes, or the sort of mega sizes we have, would be child, youth, and adult. And the child one you can see on here is rated by weight. So this one is for kids 33 pounds to 55 pounds. And they fit a little bit differently. The ones for the smaller kids tend to have a strap that goes between their legs to help keep it really secure. It's a little different for a child one versus an adult one. But yeah, it's super important that you have a life jacket for your child that fits them well, because I remember I was out at a lake one time with my family, sort of the swimming area, and I saw a kid was out swimming and he had a life jacket that was way too big, and it had come up around he was floating and it was kind of up around his face. And I kept thinking, that is the opposite of help. We want to have one that fits you properly. If it doesn't fit you right, it's not going to work. So like I said, but it's very simple. The child one for kids 33 to 55 pounds. The youth one picks up where that lets off, goes up to about 90 pounds. And then once people are over 90 pounds, the kids that size can start wearing adult ones and get more use out of them. But you can, if you have multiple kids, these can be handed down, that kind of thing. So,
well, and I guess it's also important to realize that as you plan your trip and as you plan your day on the water, and you get everything in order, this has got to be right up there on the top.
Oh yeah, I mean this is probably like the top. And when people buy a boat from us, a lot of times they're like, well, what all do I need? The three things you need: a boat, a paddle, a life jacket. And this is really as important as any of them. We do recommend for boaters, one little add-on is that a lot of us here at the shop, you'll see we have a whistle attached somewhere on our life jacket. April has a great idea. She uses like an elastic hair tie, puts it around the shoulder strap, puts the whistle on that. So it's kind of up out of the way, but you can use it. So that's a good signaling device. But that's kind of a nice add-on. But yeah, like I said, in terms of being prepared, when you're thinking about there's hydration, there's sunscreen, life jacket. It's really should be right there near the top.
There really are a lot, and that's why I guess it's good to come into a place like this or talk to somebody who's got some experience, because the whistle's a great idea. I never would have thought of that.
Yeah, and it's just like I said, it's especially it used to be, they always said, like, never paddle alone. That's a great safety thing.
Yeah.
But with Corona, they sort of changed the guidance on that. But whether you're with alone or with somebody, sometimes you can get separated. And a whistle is a great signaling device. So that's a super smart thing. And yeah, definitely come into the shop. Even if you're not looking to make a purchase, something you'll quickly learn is that, and I always joke, if you ask any of us about our favorite places to paddle or hike or that kind of thing, you can't shut us up. We'll chew your ear off just telling you about all our favorite places to, are you looking for whitewater? Are you looking for flat water? Are you looking for lakes? How experienced are you? What kind of experience are you looking for? We love that stuff.
Yeah.
So, if you need any more information, respecttherap.com, the Respect the Rap campaign. Our big messaging is whenever you're on the river, wear your life jacket. Even if you're just, you're wading out there or you're swimming or you're having fun, because you never know when you might slip or the tide changes or there's a big thunderstorm upstream and the water raises quickly. And, if you have your life jacket on, you're prepared and something to take off your mind that you don't have to worry about.
And I think it's important to have somebody like you you're on the water a lot. And if it's important for you to do it and you're on the water a lot, someone like me who's not definitely should have one.
And that's the message, because a lot of people say, oh, well, I'm a strong swimmer. And I tell them, I was a lifeguard through college. I grew up as a Navy brat, near the ocean, near the water. I'm very comfortable with the water. I love being on the water, on the ocean, on the river. And if you see me in my kayak, you'll see me in a life jacket. I've gone paddling, with my friend Bill from the Virginia Outdoor Center, who's been on the water longer than I've been alive, and he's always got a life jacket on. So that's one thing that's really important, is when you see people, it actually, the more experience they have on the water, I think the more likely they are to wear a life jacket, and that should tell you something. So.
And like you said, you never know what you're going to come up on, or if a storm's going to come up, or whatever.
Absolutely, yeah. The river is a natural environment, and the Rappahannock it's a very safe river, but there are hazards in any sort of outdoor activity, and we just want to take the reasonable steps to be prepared. We don't want people to be afraid of the river. We want them to get out there and enjoy it, but we want them to do it safely. And like I said, the simplest, easiest way, get yourself, it's sometimes a little bit of an investment to get a life jacket. These ones are a little more, but you can still buy those terrible giant orange ones, and they work. But if you don't want to wear it, it's not going to do you any good. So, you spend a lot of money on your kayak, set a little bit aside, get yourself a decent life jacket that's going to be comfortable, that you're going to want to wear, and that's going to keep you safe out there.
And I would think these are the kind of things that they'll last a long time.
Oh, yeah, several years. People who are paddling all the time, there is, you know, some people talk about kind of an expiration date on these things, but I mean, you're talking 10, 15 years, something like that, but they can particularly go longer. You do want to inspect it periodically, and you want to store it. You don't want to just leave it out in the sun all the time. Like anything, it can get damaged from, you know, from wind and wear and critters and that kind of thing. So, you know, if you've got a torn strap or something, either get that repaired or get it replaced. But yeah, no, they, you know, I've had some of my life jackets for several years, get a lot of use out of them, so.
These actually are pretty kind of stylish.
I think so. I think they look really cool, and we have different colors. So, you know, we like to joke about, you know, being matchy with your boat. But hey, if it makes you feel good for being out on the water to look sharp, then heck yeah, well, you know, whatever we can do to get you out there and be safe. But we've got different colors. We've got the black and red. I like the green and black. Keith, one of the owners here, he's got the same one. The purple one, I think, is what April has. So we've got red, blue. We even have ones for if you're a fisherman. You know, we have ones that have a lot of pockets. So that is a little bit of a difference too. So like I said, this one's kind of more minimal. This is great for stand-up paddleboarding, canoeing, that kind of thing with all that freedom of movement. This one with the extra pockets is great for anglers, so you can keep your different sort of tackle and so forth with you on your person.
Now, see, there's a whole nother area, if you're out fishing, that you sometimes don't think about needing a life jacket, but this really does go to the point of when you're around water, you can't be too safe.
That's right, and yeah, and like I said, and it's not something that you have to be crazy about. There's not a lot to it. It's really, you know, make sure that the river conditions are safe for the day that you're going out. And you know, there's information on that. You can learn more from the Respect the Rap, or you can give us a call here at the shop and wear your life jacket. And then, like I said, we don't. It kind of breaks my heart. We'll see comments sometimes on social media, you know, especially when there's a drowning event. Oh, the Rappahannock is so dangerous. I would never go out there. And the messaging we want to give is that it is safe if you're safe, and that being safe is simple, something we can all do.
And I never thought that about matching up the color to your kayak or so.
Yeah,
that, you know, seems like maybe you do want to do that.
Maybe you do. It's you know,
it's a fashion statement.
Exactly. You know, you want to look sharp. It's, you know, and we're all sometimes, you know, especially as guys, might be a little embarrassed about that. But if you feel good about it, you're more likely to wear it. So I confess I did. You know, when I have a teal whitewater kayak, and then I got my green and my blue helmet. I do feel like they go together well. So.
Yeah, because now see if you wore this with that shirt right now.
Oh, it might be a little bit of class. You know, I showed the demo. I should have used.
Should have done that. That maybe was a mistake. What were you thinking? I'm going to look at that and think.
It was a fashion faux pas, but not a safety faux pas.
That's right. And again, it's safety is the thing, and the statistic that just you mentioned. You know, no one's ever drowned on the Rappahannock that's had one of these.
A life jacket on, yeah.
And so, why would you take a chance?
And it's just, you know, it's really, like I said, some people might look at this as a little bit of an investment, but I look at it as a really cheap insurance policy. It's a really, really inexpensive way to stay safe for yourself, for those around you, because unfortunately, when there is, you know, a drowning, sometimes it becomes a double because somebody else tries to help. You know, it puts our professional rescuers at risk. So it's not just about you, it's kind of about the whole community that gets involved when there's one of these tragedies, your family, that sort of thing. So, you know, keep everybody in mind, keep yourself safe, enjoy the river. Let's make it a positive summer, a positive experience for everybody, and a positive river. So.